Hi! Today I'm going to demonstrate for you how to make a handsome handmade autumn card using the Stampin' Up! Love a Leaf stamp set and the coordinating Stitched Leaves dies. In just a bit, you'll see why they call these Stitched Leaves dies. Very cool! I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 19 years I've been teaching others how to create their own hand stamped smiles. So we'll be using traditional fall colors with a spring color for our handsome handmade autumn card. Here's a closer view of the Love of Leaves stamps and the coordinating Stitched Leaves dies. These are so cool. So let me show you. So you have the outline dies that will die cut the stamped leaves if you like. Look at that. Or you can die cut in the paper. Let me show you. Just like this in your cardstock and make a peekaboo window, and it leaves the stitching all the way around. That's what you're seeing right here on that stitching on there. And then we could also put the veins into the leaves. So cool, and this is really pretty. We're going to be using that too. And so when you order the two of these together using the special bundle item number I've listed right here, you'll save 10% on both. That savings adds up. So whenever you're looking through the catalog, look for a bundle. If there's ever a stamp set and dies or stamp set and a puncher punches, look for bundle savings. So in this August through December 2020 Stampin' Up! Mini catalog, you need to look for, it's like this. A lot of times they were in a box. Look for that and look for the scallop circle with the 10% off. It could be a different color depending on the page, but look for that so you don't miss out on the savings. So we're going to start with die cutting with these very cool dies. So I need to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and I am just loving it. These fold up so it takes less space on your shelf. And so now what we need to do is build our sandwich. So we're going to start with plate number 1, included with the Cut and Emboss machine. Plate number 2, because we're using a thin metal die and the directions are on here, also included. Then we need a cutting pad, plate number 3. You get 2 of those. But instead, I'm going to use plate number 5, the magnetic cutting plate. So happy about this. It is a full magnet. So let me show you what also is included that we're not using today is plate number 4, and this is with the 3D embossing folders. So that also comes with this. All right, but this, so crazy about additional purchase, but one I highly recommend. It's a full magnet. So we're going, this is our cutting surface, where before we need to put an acrylic cutting pad on there and hope that the magnet was strong enough to go through it. Not anymore. Love it. Okay, and so here is some very vanilla cardstock, and then this is very cool die. All this stitching, and I'm going to put it right to the edge of it. Here we go. All right. And so then to finish our sandwich, I need a plate number 3. Okay. And then we'll just feed all of that through. And I've got a handle over here I'm cranking. That glides through pretty doggone smoothly without all that popping all over the place. A little bit of a pop, but not that dramatic jumping all over. And look at that. Isn't that cool? That's such a cool look. So let me push this back through. I can cut from either direction. I just seem to like to go from left to right. And so now I have crumb cake cardstock, mint macaron, there's that spring color, and Cajun craze. And we can, this is one full magnet we can cut all over. I tend to keep going in the center, so I want to move things around. I don't need to stay in the center at all. Let's move around. And so then we have our dies. All right, so we're going to use both, and we're going to make it really easy by using both at the same time. So we'll have the die cut shape, but look, we're also going to have that stitching, and I'm just going to stick it right in there and move that around. I want it to be in the center. Oh, so cool, so cool. And we've got this one. There we go. And then all that lovely stitching for the veins. All right. right. And one more. Here we go. Same idea. Don't you love the flexibility? So, you know, I decided not to stamp the leaves for this one. And I have to show you that stamp set. It does not say it's a distinctive, but wow, that shading is really cool. So it'll be fun to stamp that too. But for this card, I just wanted to do die cutting. And there we go. So to finish it, plate number 3, just like we did before. And I want to place it on there because I don't want to scoot anything. And feed that through. There we go. So I am using, for my thin metal dies, the magnetic cutting plate every time. I'm just curious how long it's going to last. You know, it reads it as a self-healing mat, even though I see some of the, you know, the designs in there embedded in. That's okay, but look at this. How cool is that? So I'm just going to keep using it so I can see how long it lasts. You know, there wasn't any indication how long it should. So I'm like, I think if it lasts a year, I'll be thrilled because I'm not using up cutting pads over and over. And see, here you go. See that stitching around it? So if you want to do the designer paper behind it like they did, very nice. So now we've got a little bit of stamping to do. So we've got all of our die cutting done. And did I mention this is very vanilla cardstock? I don't remember saying that. And whenever you want white or cream cardstock for stamping, you'll want Whisper White and Very Vanilla because it has a smooth, tight finish that gives you a crisp, clean image. And you sure want that when you're stamping. And we'll be stamping one of the sentiments here, but I'll be using it as a greeting. Your friendship is something I know I can count on. That's not terribly big. You really want that crisp and clean, and it will be. All right, so you know what's funny? Whenever I do fall leaves, I'm always have them like they're falling. And I struggled and struggled and struggled with the placement. So then I got out my catalog. I thought, okay, let me see how they grouped them. Well, they had them going up. I thought, well, let's try that. And they also used this coming down, and that's how I had it initially. I had this turn like that because that looks right. But I wanted my card to be portrait instead of landscape, so I turned it like this, and I think it looks fabulous. So when I got, you know, when I was done with trying to make them just always falling, I just needed to place them. Here we go. So now I know where to stamp my greeting, all right, and just perfect down in here. So I'm using Early Espresso Classic Stampin' Pad. We'll pick this up, slide it in, and all these colors came from the Gilded Autumn Designer Series paper, and we'll be using some of that on here. So that was how the color scheme came together. And here it is. Get that good and inked up. This is a photopolymer stamp. The ink is clear. We can see through it to see right where we're stamping. Come over here and let's stamp. Oh, fantastic. All right, and so to close this, little push, pull on that lip, and click. All right, so what I used mini glue dots to put this on because there's some texture going on and all that. I could use the Stampin' Seal, but I decided to use these. So you take them out of their box, peel them back, and let's start. We won't take the paper to it. I'm going to say we won't press down on, oh, some of them are exposed. I took off too much paper too quickly. There we go. We won't press down. Let's just place them to see where we want them to go. Now I'll peel this back. And I do my best not to touch the mini glue dots because that takes away from their extreme stickiness. So I take my paper to them. Okay. Ah, so pretty. All right, and then this big splash of color. I love fall colors, and I'm in northern Michigan, and some of our trees have started to turn, and the colors are so vibrant this year. But it's kind of fun, and I love all that. That is just, love this time of year. It's still warm outside, but more comfortable. Okay, so once we have our placement, I'm thinking this is pretty good. We'll move this over a little bit. We can press down. Come up over here. And I'm going to go off the side a little bit. I love going off my palette as long as it still fits in my envelope. And it will. All right, and then we'll tuck this one in over here. There we go. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. And so what I have here, look, isn't this ribbon gorgeous? It's from, oh, I didn't bring the pack with me, but it's with the Gilded Autumn. It goes with that suite. And I tied a little bow. So you have the green and the copper. Very, very pretty. Okay. And another mini gluette. Here they are. And same thing, I still don't want to touch them if I can avoid it. Press this onto that knot. And right here, oh, nice. Nice little finishing touch. There we go. So now, let me put this underneath me, show you what all this is going to go on. And it's going to go on Early Espresso cardstock. This is my card base. And look, this is just one of the patterns from the Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper. You see here, we've got gold and copper foiling. Very pretty, but there are the colors. And so what I have here is some Stampin' Seal. I put my finger where it's a little roughed up. There we go. This is a really quick card. And I'll have a link to my blog post with all the measurements. So if you'd like to make this card too, instead of just putting that on there, we're going to use my favorite accessory, Stampin' Dimensionals. You know, whenever I cook, I say butter makes everything better. Boy, does it, huh? And when you're card making, Stampin' Dimensionals make everything better. Just pops it up and makes it more special. It's amazing how something so simple can add so much to your card making. So these foam adhesive dots, what I was doing was pressing with my thumbnail, and they don't have to be long at all, and it makes the edge of that backing pop up and really easy to pop off. And so then put this on here, and there we go. All the colors in our Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper for our handsome handmade autumn card with the Love of Leaves stamp set and the coordinating Stitch Leaves dies. All the supplies to make my handsome handmade autumn card with the Love of Leaves stamp set and the very cool Stitch Leaves dies are listed below the video and available to order now in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. I'm Shelly Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.